I'm killing customer service. I am just slaying it, making these people feel like more calm. Customer service story time. So we're going to do a big tent, a 40 by 80 tent full of everything. Tents, tables, chairs, dance floor, cocktail tables, bar, lots of stuff. It's an hour and 15 minutes away. We get there and there's someone at the end of the driveway because it's down by a lake and there's a lot of like off of this driveway. There's a bunch of driveways. So he tells me where to go. First thing he says to me is it's all marked out. We want it butted up against the garage. And immediately, if you know tents and you know pole tents, you know that you can't get a pole tent up against the garage. You need space for the stakes to come out. So I'm thinking, this guy thinks this is a frame tent. We go down the driveway, and then in front of the garage is this huge space of brand new asphalt. And I see the flags at the end. So I'm like, yeah, he thinks this is a frame tent. So I get out, I just start talking to him, and I say, hey, just so you know, we're gonna be putting 64 stakes in this driveway. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, man, this tent's going up with stakes. This is, it's a pole tent. I didn't know that. I thought you were using weights. Number one, we need 5 feet from your garage. So it's going past where your flags were, which where his flags were, kind of went uphill at the end of the driveway, and then big sharp down. 10 feet of the tent is going to be like 6 feet lower, which you can't do that anyways because it's got to be straight. And I'm like, we'll make it work. I just want to let you know that there's 64 stakes going in this. And he's like, well, I guess. Now, several years ago, I would have been kind of pissed off about this, but like, it just happens. Whatever. I learned just to go with it, get the thing done, leave. It's not as big of a crazy thing. No need to get mad or frustrated. Just do the work, whatever. But this is his dad's house. So he has to go ask his dad, who's mowing the lawn. Dad is coming up on the lawnmower and looks angry. He gets off, leaves the lawnmower on. The lawnmower's on for an hour and a half, which I hate that. Just turn it off. But I tell him the situation, and he's like, no, that's not happening. This is brand new driveway. Can't you just use weights on these? I'm like, dude, this is a pole tent. We would need thousands and thousands of pounds of weight to do this. And then I explained the physics of the pole, the side poles, the ratchets, the tension, and how a frame tent doesn't require the same physics. A frame tent is just a rigid frame with the vinyl on top of it. And they understand this. So we're like, all right, let's come up with options. I am calm this entire time. I'm smiling. I'm being cool. It was an hour and a half of just sitting there talking. They got one spot where there's a leach field. He didn't want it there. That was an acceptable spot. He didn't want holes in his leach field. And I'm just like, dude, what is a leach field? It's just a bunch of pipes with a bunch of holes. If we happen to hit one, which we probably won't, you're just going to have one more hole in your pipe. He didn't want that. Then the other option was on this incline. We're at the top of the incline. I'm like, yeah, that could work, except there's a tree in the way. He goes, I'll have the tree out by this afternoon. All right, we can do that, but we're just going to come back tomorrow then. We're going to unload everything in your garage. So the 3 guys I'm with, they start unloading everything in the garage, and I'm just talking to the dude. And then we're walking up and down the incline, and we realize that the top of the incline and the bottom of the incline are about 6 feet apart. So this entire wedding is going to be really crooked. All right, that's not happening. So I say, hey, listen, let me make a few phone calls. Let me see if I can get you a frame tent because I don't have one. So I make a few phone calls. Either they have it, but they don't have employees to do it, or they don't have it because it was up at this big antique festival in my county, huge antique festival. Like, all right, man, I got 5 20 by 20 frame tents left. That's all I got for this weekend. We can make something work. So we go back and forth on that. I'm drawing out what it would look like for them, telling them that it's not perfect, looking at the weather. They finally decide, okay, let's do the 5 frame tents in front of the garage. Dude whose wedding it is, it's just on his face. He is so terrified, so distressed. This whole time I'm calm. I'm just like, whatever. I'm wasting an hour and a half, this and that, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. It's me, the dude's fiance, dude's friend. And they just look so distraught. So I just say, hey, listen, guys, I know this is very, very stressful. We do this every single weekend. We've seen way worse than this. I know this is stressful for you. But in reality, what's going to happen is none of your guests are going to know. It's going to go off without a hitch. Half hour into the event, you're not going to even care that the plans changed. Everyone's just going to be having fun. I know it's stressful now, but I guarantee you, by the time your event starts, it will not be stressful. It'll be great. Dude's friend is behind him, just standing here like this, like looking at me all proud. And I'm feeling proud in the moment too, because I'm killing customer service. I am just slaying it, making these people feel like more calm. The dad asked, since they weren't getting the 40 by 80 frame tent, can that price go towards the 5 frame tents? And I said, man, I know you own a business. I could just tell he did. He has a very, very nice place on the lake. And I can tell he wasn't a doctor, lawyer, or stock person or whatever. He got his money from working hard. So I say, I can tell that you own a business. You know that if we knew this whole situation ahead of time, we would have had the frame tents for you, and this tent would have been out for somewhere else. And he goes, yeah, I know. We'll pay for both. I'm like, yeah, that's great. And I said all that like very calmly too. And like, you know, we're down together. He owns a business. I own a business. It's all good. Now, to those of you who say I should have done a site visit and I would have known, this driveway was gravel before. Everything was going to be okay. They changed the plans and got it asphalted a month before. And we didn't know that. So the next day we come back, we put up the frame tents. Everyone's saying thank you. There's no tension anywhere. Everyone's being nice. We come back and take them down the following Monday. They said the event was great, went off without a hitch, everything. When you have a difficult situation come up, you just have to be calm, maybe make a little jokes. If you see them being stressed out, you just have to tell them, like, listen, everything's going to be okay. Your guests won't even know the difference. Once you start having your event, you're not going to know the difference. Everything's going to be fine. I know you're very, very stressed, and these are just words coming out of my mouth, but I'm telling you, we've seen this. It's going to be fine. There's no point in you getting, like, upset and frustrated and angry at them and being hostile. It is what it is. So what? You're going to work an hour, 2, 3 hours more that day. You can charge for it, you know, but just stay calm, and nothing's as bad as it seems. Just one step at a time, get the work done. You feel good about it. You made them feel good about it. Even though the situation has changed, everything's good, and they have nothing bad to say about you. In fact, they would probably leave you a good review. So when it comes to customer service and weird situations that arise, just stay calm and be cool.